Hello, welcome back to the channel. I hope some of you have had a chance to watch my unboxing video already, and in today's video I'm going to be answering the obvious question raised by the unboxing video. Why am I joining the furry fandom at age 59? Let's face it, I don't really fit the demographic of a typical furry. I'm an older male, I'm straight, I've been married to the same person for over 30 years. I have 2 adult children and I work as a healthcare professional. I've never been diagnosed as neurodivergent, although I do admit I've suffered from depression for most of my adult life, and I am definitely a bit socially awkward and a bit of a wallflower. So what am I doing here? To borrow a phrase from another furry, please let me explain. My love of anther animals is not new. I've been a fan of animals since childhood. I think I can remember seeing the Robin Hood movie at the age of 7 with my parents. I then watched my 2 children grow up surrounded by media. We expect that anther animals are good for kids. I remember going to see The Lion King at the movie theatre with them. And yeah, we see lots and lots of anthropomorphic animals over the years. Interestingly, one I have missed was Zootopia. Zootopia came in 2016, and by that stage my youngest child was 18, so we never actually got to see that movie. I also have a bit of a background of cosplay. I've been to a few Comic-Cons over the years. My daughter is a keen cosplayer and has been suited quite a few times. And both my daughter and son-in-law have an interest in wardrobe. They've both worked in wardrobe departments for films and stage productions. So I'd say I've always had a slight interest in furry. I've always watched a little bit of furry material on YouTube. And then, early in this year, something intersected. My other great love in life is music, particularly progressive rock music. Modern prog was really my thing. I've made quite a bit of previous content about modern prog, particularly the band Big Train. I made a film for YouTube called Journey of the Passengers about their fandom and how that all went together. And that's available out there on YouTube, not on my channel, it's on the Big Train channel if you want to watch it. But anyway, I'm a regular fan of prog and I like discovering new music. And sometime earlier this year, I think about February, I was looking through prog archives and there was a review of an album by an artist I'd never heard of, an artist called Violet Pony, and an album called Monarch of Monsters, which piqued my attention. This was a story about an anthropomorphic murderous wolf. I listened to one song and I sort of fell in love with this album really. I purchased the album, which is a very nice package actually. I recommend it to you highly. The album is a concept album, an 83-minute concept album based on a novella written by the artist. The story actually, the wolf in the story actually turns out not to be a wolf at all, so there you are. But there's a beautifully put together booklet of artwork and looked at all the furry artwork, and I found this very applicable because it does talk a lot about mental health, and I thought this, what was being talked about applied to me to some extent. And I say, I know admittedly Violet Pony is a My Little Pony based story, and I know absolutely nothing about My Little Pony. I don't think I've ever seen a single My Little Pony episode. But it did get me thinking that, yeah, I do like this artwork, I do like the furry artwork. Anyway, I go back to YouTube and we discover that there's a con on locally fairly soon. Furry on the Gold Coast is only a few weeks' time, and I live north of the Gold Coast, about 2 hours drive away. So I thought, well, I might go and do that for no better reason than I can. I've never been to a furry convention, so let's do this. So at the appropriate time, I bought a day ticket for the Saturday. I drove down. I admit I had to go by myself. My wife was not well enough to go, and my daughter and son-in-law were basically both busy with other things like work. Anyway, I had a good day at Furry. I joined in the parade. I didn't have any fursuit material to wear at all. I just went in normal clothing. I wandered around the con for a few hours. I talked to a few furries. Was given a few stickers by people. Sadly, I didn't take any photos at all. And I think that's probably my social anxiety kicking in, being scared to ask people for photos. But anyway, I went to the dealer's den and the artist's alley, and I bought a few things from the dealer's den. So I'd say Furry was not really life-changing, but it certainly got me heading in the right direction. I know I certainly had a fursona by that stage. My friend William the Wolf, I can't remember exactly when he created him, but I certainly knew about the wolf by then. And at the Furry, I did buy myself a wolf badge and commissioned a ref sheet for my character William. Anyway, after a time at the con, it was back to YouTube and watching things. I then joined the Patreon of one of the local fursuit makers, that would be Sky High Studios, whose work I admire. I then asked another local maker to commission William. Sadly, I didn't get a slot, so onwards from there. But then I thought, well, look, I'm going to get involved with this. I really do need to have something to wear, something to look the part. So I started looking around Dealer's Den and Etsy, looking at other options. And to be honest with you, I've always been a little bit scared about buying a fursuit pre-made. And the reason for that is because I know I've got a big head. Yes, that's right, I've got a big head. I know in a Cobra hat's in a size 63, which is about a 25-inch size. So when it said a 23 or 24, I'm always a bit worried, will the head fit me? Anyway, one night, late in April, I was just casually meandering through Etsy when I came across this character here. And I looked at his photo, I looked into his eyes, and I saw myself looking back at me. And I must admit there were a few tears at the time. I was quite sad. I just thought I couldn't buy this character. Anyway, I messaged the maker and explained my concerns. I didn't think the head would fit. But he said, no, don't worry. I can let this out by an inch at the back, and so it should fit you perfectly. And within about 30 seconds of getting that message, I'd hit the buy now button, and the suit was bought. Next came what was honestly the longest 5 weeks of my life. It took 5 weeks to get the suit all the way from Augusta in Maine, USA, to Brisbane here in Australia. The suit got held up in customs in Brisbane because it's worth more than 1,000 Australian dollars. And if you are importing a suit into Australia, it's probably worth remembering this. Anything over $1,000 is going to cost you some money to get it out. In the end, my suit was stuck there for 2 weeks, and it cost me just over 1,000 Australian dollars to get my suit through customs. And now here we are. I have a beautiful, partial fursuit. I was actually hoping to take Orlando here out next weekend. There was a Twilight cosplay market on in Brisbane, but sadly it's been cancelled, so we're going to have to wait a bit longer. Having said that, there is some local fur meets. I believe that South Bank Furs are meeting on Tuesday, and I know there's a full-scale con on locally in October, which I've already signed up for, so we'll be going to Tales of Terror in October. In the meantime, I will wear my furry suit around the house. I will take some photos for Fursuit Friday, and he might even get a trip to work if he's very lucky and they're doing something charity-based there. In the meantime, what's happened to William, you're going to ask? Well, William still exists. The ref sheet for William is now done. It's been done to my satisfaction, and I plan on trying to get it commissioned. I have spent a fair bit of time recently learning about how to sew, and I'm hoping that I can make the missing parts myself. I'll probably just aim to commission his head, and I'll probably try and make the rest myself. Anyway, thank you for watching, and thank you for listening to my story. Until the next time, folks, keep it weird, you all, and do something that makes you happy. All the best, guys. Have a good day. Bye.